We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
Let's find the mega condenser. I'm saying that too fast. Let's find the mega condenser. Still going too fast.
What's wrong, Lion-O?
Oh, fuck, here it is again.
What's here again?
That thing, that mega thing.
Want me to say it?
Yes!
Recorded to you live from the Lost and Found at Comic-Con 2046. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Nice! Ooh-ah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. We're doing another episode because it's another week. And, you know, kicking it off, I got my buddy Dom.
What up, yo?
I got my buddy Ed.
Hey.
I got my brother Bob on guitar.
Hey, what's up?
And I'm Bill Sweeney. You've probably never heard us, or maybe this is the first time, maybe this is the last time. I don't know. I just hope that we do something good for you. And that's it. We're done.
Probably
We're going to go home. All right. So, yeah, we're kind of a nerdy news podcast, and we goof around and cover geek stuff and have, you know, good times.
Oh, yeah.
That's the objective. Good times had by some.
Some.
It's never all. You can't get them all.
No.
So let's get a couple things out of the way. Official business type stuff. This is episode 64. We're going to real quick tease out what's coming ahead down the line for this week. We're going to do some news as usual, some emails as usual, but also later on we have a very, very special guest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully they'll arrive on time. We'll see how that goes.
I'm just a little worried because he refused to do the pre-interview.
Yeah, it's, you know, he's crotchety. Or curmudgeon, maybe, you could even say. But we'll get to that. Also, a little bit later on, we're going to involve ourselves with a contest that we're running over on our other show, Preacher vs. Preacher. Preacher versus Preacher.
Preacher versus Preacher.
Verse.
How's that show going?
How's that what?
How's that show going?
Did you say shirt?
No, show.
Okay. Did you slur it a little bit? I thought you said shirt.
I don't know.
But it's going good. It's going good. I mean, things are looking up. You know why? Because, you know, we're going to get into a lot of Comic-Con stuff, but since you asked about Preacher, I don't know if Dom saw it or if Bob saw it, but they put out a preview, like end of season kind of trailer for the last 2 episodes, and it's, boys, I think it's going to line up where we want it. I'm just saying, there's a scene in a diner, and there's like, you know, all right, this is it. And it's, you know, not to give stuff away, but like we've always been told, it's going to end. Bob's like, I have to look at it up now and search it now. We're going to take a break in a little while. We'll give it a whirl during a break later on. But, yeah, so there's some hope there. If there were people feeling like there wasn't hope.
There better be, because we don't know how it's going. So.
But you know what's going to happen real quick? It's going to end where the book starts, and then it's the end of the season, and we're going to be like, fuck! Like, you know what I mean? We're going to wait like a year for 13 more. So if people are listening to get the skinny on the contest and what's going on with that and get their number, it's going to come a little bit later. We want to try and...
Just stick with it.
Just stick with us. Just give us a little time. Just give us a little time.
And no fast forwarding. That's fucking cheating.
Well, you know, they're gonna be bouncing around trying to find it, and like, where is it exactly? I'm like, I don't even know. It's you know, it's random kind of. Well, not really, but
I mean, you're gonna type it at the time code.
Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna make it so you don't have to listen. Defeat the whole purpose. But if anybody's listening for that, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us a shot this week. And if anybody wants to follow that account for to listen to us over there, it's Preacher vs. Preacher on iTunes and such, Stitcher and Google Play. And they can follow the Twitter account at Preach vs. Preach. Yes. And then I think that's gonna be it, kind of, for the setup on this week. Which kind of brings us into the meanwhile section right away.
Meanwhile,
and if you're not familiar, I like it. If you're not familiar, the meanwhile section is just basically real quick, like stuff that went on during the week that maybe we watched or consumed, some pop culture kind of things. Maybe usually it's a quick recommendation. As movies come out every week, Ed goes to see a lot of movies on a regular basis.
I do.
He does, and we tend to watch a lot of TV, all of us, so or read. Once in a while, we actually read stuff.
Well, I went to the movies this week.
Okay, no reading, I guess.
No reading?
Well, you read the credits, right?
Yeah.
All right, so so what did you see this week, Ed?
I saw Star Trek Beyond.
Ooh.
And this is for those who may not know, I am
right.
a huge Trekkie.
Yes.
The first image I remember ever seeing on a screen was Locutus, Captain Picard taken over by the Borg.
Quite literally showing your age.
Yes.
Literally. So what are you a tadpole when that Locutus?
I was probably like 2 or 3.
All right. But that's what started it all.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, that was and so I am also kind of, I really love the original Trek.
All right.
I thought the first J.J. Abrams movie was really good.
Mm-hmm.
The more I watch Star Trek Into Darkness, the less I've liked it.
Okay.
And with the Batman versus Superman saga, we know that's kind of a compulsion with me sometimes.
All right, stick to the fucking plan here. What happened with this
so
movie?
Star Trek Beyond.
Yeah.
As
As I try to open up this loot
lost
crate.
you.
Sorry for all the noise. Oh no!
Oh no, Bob, can you hear me?
Hello. I can hear myself. I just can't hear Ed.
You can't hear me?
Nope.
Wow, that's weird.
I can hear me.
Oh, now I can hear
All
everybody.
right,
Well,
so you keep coming
yep.
out at this point, right?
Okay.
Is what it seems like last week. I think that was the thing too.
Yeah.
right.
But that's good.
Okay, so I went to see the movie
Mm-hmm.
Thursday night, right after work, when it premiered, and this is much closer to the original series. I would say it's the most faithful of the post reboot.
Would you
movies.
mean that in just that it's the most Star Trekky of all the Trekkies? I mean,
Yes.
all the Treks.
Yes, and it's a weird mix because it's a very Star Trek story. It's co-written by Simon Pegg, who's also has a lot of nerd cred.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, just a little.
But also it's directed by Justin Lin, who's directed at least 1 or 2 Fast and Furious movies.
Right,
So
right,
it has a very like straight up action stunt vibe to it.
Okay.
So for all those who think that this isn't a mainstream movie like the last 2 were, this definitely is.
Right.
But it's something where you're out in the middle of deep space. It doesn't take place in San Francisco.
Okay. Right. We've left the planet.
We actually they're 3 years into their 5-year mission.
Okay.
And the cool thing about Star Trek, and the thing that's really is it's the peak of human possibility.
Okay.
The world Star Trek takes place in is, imagine if all of the politics and economics and all the
We just got our shit together. Right?
all the bullshit that
Right.
gets in the way
Right.
of human
Oh,
progress
Could you imagine?
just fell away.
Oh, what a mythical
This
envisionment
is,
this is.
and there's a scene where they get to a space station,
Okay.
and I won't spoil it, but that it is basically the peak of Gene Roddenberry's vision, and to see that realized, like that they finally have the budget to pull this off, it is quite breathtaking.
That is vague, but at the same time intriguing.
So we're going to see Captain Kirk go up against Jesus Christ then.
No.
Finally. Deep Space Jesus. Finally. Finally.
And Idris Elba plays Krall, who's the main
Right.
villain,
Right.
who has a very interesting backstory that it takes the whole movie to figure out.
Okay.
And the the movie has some third act problems.
Okay.
It gets a little weird towards the end. But,
It's a movie.
But
Right.
yeah, it's,
Most movies do
Right.
these days.
But
All right.
it's fun overall. This movie, it should be 4 American tacos.
Right.
But
right.
fuck you, I'm saying 4.5.
Whoa! Wow! Ed,
Sounds
that's
like sounds
probably
like half
just-
a taco for nerd cred.
That's just personal biases.
that's what I'm thinking. That
Yeah.
extra half is. That's just like you just love it because it's so Star Trekky.
yes.
It's like I got to give it bonus points.
Right.
Yes, and it more than makes up for Into Darkness.
So this week I got a loot crate in the mail. Dom's going to open that up while I tell people to probably what they already know, generally speaking, is to go check out Stranger Things on Netflix. If you haven't already heard about it, I think it's 8 or 10 episodes, and it's totally worth it. What do we got in the box there, buddy? Oh, that's a T-shirt.
Not sure what that is.
No,
Someone
but I
might be
think
able to identify that.
Yeah, I think the theme. What is the theme? Futuristic is the theme this month over on Loot Crate. So
All right.
there's
So
that.
it's a cool looking T-shirt.
It's a cool looking T-shirt.
You got a Futurama Planet Express ship little figure here.
Oh my God!
Mini Masters.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Very cool.
That's cool. Look at that.
Here's something for Ed. Star Trek Next Generation. I don't know what this actually is, though. Is it a sticker or is it a magnet?
Sounds like it's $50, Ed.
There
We'll,
we go. It's
we'll
a Loot
negotiate
Crate
that.
exclusive Star Trek something. Should we give this? I don't want to open this in
And
case we want
there's
to
a
give it
booklet.
away later.
Well, yeah, there's a booklet that will describe it all. And then we got some
A little Mega Man.
little
figure.
Mega Man that'll be given away.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
And then
I think
got
this
a
next
copy
generation
of,
thing.
the first issue of 4001 AD. It's a comic from Valiant.
Nice.
It's written by Matt Kind,
Ooh,
and I've heard it's pretty good.
nice.
That's the big crossover for
Uh-oh.
Valiant. This
Uh-oh.
one.
The pin. The pin.
There's
This
a
month's
pin.
pin.
There's a pin that Ed will like.
Uh-oh. We're going to be fighting
Ed,
for the pin.
Describe what it is.
Oh, it is a pin of the Vulcan peace sign.
Nice.
A
And,
hand making the
Live
Vulcan peace
long.
sign.
then
and
the loot
prosper.
pins got good, too. They
Yeah.
improved the quality. Bob, you were going to say this package might be
Yeah, I think this is one of those like cloths you get out of the dollar machine that you can wipe on your dashboard.
the package on
It's
it
about
is exactly what it
it's
looks
about
like.
the same, you know.
Right. No, let's see.
It's-
Yeah.
You might have to open it just out of curiosity, Bill. You might have to sacrifice it just to see what it is.
I'll open a booklet here. They tell you what everything is.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it online. It's pretty hard to navigate.
Yeah. So Bill, where's
Is
this?
it a
where's
Star
this?
Trek exclusive dedication replica decal? It's a durable domed decal, and it lets you turn just about anything into the USS Enterprise. It'll cover 4.5 inches of surface, should you choose to stick it. So basically, it looks like a bronzed official plaque that would be on the side of a
Oh, the
statue.
Oh, okay, like
or
they'd
some
have-
kind of, or
Oh,
the
yeah,
ship itself.
they have one on the ship.
Sure.
yeah, the
On-
dedication
on
plaque.
The dedication plaque.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I
pretty
think
cool.
I think it's actually there for Gene Roddenberry, if I remember correctly.
I think pretty soon I'm going to end
It's
up
like to the great.
canceling the subscription to this thing. I just feel like stuff is piling up, and it's not all stuff I want. Like I got to give it away as prizes and shit, and
got
we
nowhere
don't
to
have
put it.
people. We don't have people on here enough to give away stuff, and
So where's this pin, Bill?
so the pin. I don't know. It
I
just-
don't know.
You,
Bob's
you
getting
and
ready to
Ed,
put it on.
you and Ed might fight over that more than me. I'm telling you, jeez. But yeah, so we might have to do something where we just put all that stuff in a grab bag, maybe at a live event.
Yeah, as you get more of this themed stuff,
Yeah.
you should put it all together, and then you'll end up with a themed pack. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
pretty much.
If you can end up with some more Star Trek stuff,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
make
yeah.
a nice pack.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You know?
That's a good call. That's a good call.
Futurama stuff, or even Matt Groening.
Yeah, because I mean these genres tend to overlap with these prizes inside these boxes. I mean
Right.
not prizes, but the loot.
Right, but I mean, if you got some Simpsons stuff with the Futurama stuff, that could be a cool pack.
Well, that's what I mean. Like it
Yeah,
overlaps, so you could, like you say,
Yeah.
I could totally see how you could
Yeah.
bundle it together and
Yeah.
be
Bundle
like,
it
here's 25 pieces of swag.
Yeah.
Loot Crate remix.
Work for it. I don't know. So there's that. So real quick, back to Stranger Things. Yeah. If you're not aware of it, it's just steeped in the 80s. It's the 80s come to life. It feels like you're watching Spielberg or it's if Spielberg and Stephen King got together on something back in the day, and it was like a weekly show. This would have been it. And that's all you need to know. But jump right into it. Eat it up. It's really good.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
So, coming out of that,
Me nor Bob have any meanwhiles.
Yeah,
Just a heads up.
just it's fair. Good call. Good
Yeah.
call. But so we can jump right into the news then.
Just broke your pen.
You
sorry.
broke my pen. Gee, why do I put pens around for you to play with if you're just gonna break them? No, news.
Still right.
That's good. That's all that really matters. Ow! Damn, Bob, rocking it. We gotta come up with
It's
lyrics
got some
for that.
heavy news.
What's in the news?
We gotta come up with lyrics for that somehow. It's news o'clock. News o'clock. Something like that. I don't know. All right. So who reads the news around here, guys? I don't know. Who wants to start? Do we do that this
We
week?
could do a little alternate.
All right. All right.
Sounds
How about Dom? You take the TV stuff, and we'll throw movies
I'll
to Ed.
take. I'll let Ed take the first one since it.
Oh,
it's
there you go.
dear
Ah,
to his
okay.
heart.
So
Fair
we were
enough.
talking about Star Trek earlier.
Yeah.
So there's a new Star Trek TV show coming out.
True.
It's going to be on CBS All Access, which is a streaming network that you will have to pay extra for.
Brian Fuller, I
Yes.
believe, is running it. Right?
Yes, Brian Fuller of Hannibal fame,
Sure.
also Pushing
Among-
Daisies and other
a
shows.
bunch of other really cool stuff.
Who also has Star Trek? Who started on I think Deep Space Nine. So like he actually has Star Trek
Cred.
bona fides.
Fancy words. I gotta put my pinkies out. Jeez. As I
but
take my sip of my
and you will have to pay for CBS All Access to watch everything but the pilot. which is going to be airing on CBS, unless you don't live in the U.S. and Canada, because Netflix has signed a deal to stream it
everywhere else
in 188 countries worldwide, everywhere except for the U.S. and Canada.
All right, so that so anybody out there has that to look forward to.
All right. So this is going to be like everything that's Star Trek, or is this just going to be like the new stuff as it comes out?
This covers this new show.
Yeah. I mean, you can already watch every episode of the show ever on Netflix of any show of all
the Star Treks,
including the animated series.
And right now, there's a cable network called Heroes and Icons, I think, and they're starting some kind of. They've got all the Star Trek shows. They're going to be airing them some kind of like endless loop.
Right. So we're not going to be able to watch the new Star Trek show
unless you pay for it. Basically,
you pay for it on CBS.
You know,
On the CBS website.
Their subscription service for all this other stuff.
That's going to work out real freaking well. You know what's going to happen?
It's the future.
The moment it hits, someone's going to download it onto the freaking internet, and it's going to be on the torrent sites, and everyone's going to just torrent it.
Yeah, well, anybody.
CBS isn't going to make a freaking dime.
Well, they will. They will.
I really think they.
Well, they will because a lot of people don't know
how to torrent or where to find
stuff.
these streaming episodes and stuff.
Or,
you're right.
Or they'll wait.
It'll be up there, sure.
They'll wait. They'll do what my dad will do, which is you wait till all of the episodes have been posted up, then you get that free 2-week trial and just binge them all.
Right, there you go.
And then cut the cord.
You know, there you go. There's that too, because that'll roll around.
That's like me right now with Apple Music.
Oh yeah.
I've had Apple Music. I've been on a 3-month free trial for the past 3 months, and it ends like tomorrow. And
I'm really what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Oh.
I'm not gonna do anything.
I'm not gonna do anything. I'm
just gonna cry about it.
I'm just gonna cry about it, and then
shit.
Fuck that. I don't blame you. But how is that as a service? Like, what's
great? It's basically like if you have. I actually have premium Spotify, which I pay for already.
Okay.
It's just a little bit easier because it uses a little bit less data
on
Apple Music, and it's just a little bit more convenient because like the Apple app is a bit smoother than the Spotify app.
Right.
So it's just like it's a little bit more convenient. So, but I'm not gonna pay for it because I already pay for Spotify. So
fuck that.
Yeah,
if you can get all of it in one place.
Exactly.
All right. So then. That's good news for you, Ed.
So,
no, not really.
Not really.
Not really. That's good news for people in other countries.
Yeah, just throwing it in my face.
Just throwing it in your face. Brian Hughes is going to throw this in your face.
At least the Canadians can join in our misery.
Well, they always are miserable. I feel like they're more miserable than us, but they don't let on. What about what's next?
Some good news for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans.
Ooh.
If there ever was.
Yeah, this is pretty wild news.
Actually, something to get excited about, I think, for this show. In September, when it comes back, Ghost Rider will be on the show.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No way.
Yeah, so coming out of San Diego Comic-Con is this announcement. They had the car on the floor. So basically, it's not Johnny Blaze.
I haven't read the full article, but it seems like he's going to be like a series regular this season.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to be its ongoing storyline. They're going to have something else going on besides this Inhuman stuff. I can't imagine they're pushing all that Inhuman stuff under the table, but...
Maybe they're going to work out a storyline similar to a Flash storyline.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to be this thing that'll run throughout the season. Right. There'll be a way for them to kind of say, oh, this team probably should be doing other things,
right.
solving
it's like how
problems.
they kept Tony Sears busy enough until they got the big storylines going.
Yeah, kind of a thing like that, sure. So as long as he doesn't really join the freaking team or anything. But so basically, it's not Johnny Blaze.
Who has the rights for Ghost Rider movies?
Straight up
Marvel?
It reverted. Yeah,
it reverted. It reverted.
Because I actually I'm part of the minority that like really enjoyed those Nick Cage movies.
I didn't mind them. They were over the top.
Yeah, they were
well visually done.
Yeah, but they were done like the original stories of the Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you didn't really get into those, because they were very specific. It's from a time when Marvel had a lot of different things going on, and you could be a different type of person and be a comic fan. It wasn't all superhero stuff.
Right. Exactly. It was one of these things. Yeah.
And this was kind of a grittier thing for them at the time. This was how you did it then.
Yeah.
So it had to be a little campy.
Yeah, well, it rolled out of the 70s, the whole stunt guy, Evil Knievel era, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it fed into that trend at the time, and Marvel liked to do that. Well, they still do, but, a lot of those kinds of things, it's like, people like Tarzan, we've got Kazar. You know what I mean? It's this kind of thing. But, so this isn't going to be Johnny Blaze, though. This is going to be Robbie Reyes, the new incarnation, where he drives around in a Dodge that's all fucking super souped up.
Wait, he's not on a motorcycle?
Nope. Nope. No. It's not even like I don't even think it's
the spirit
Zarethas.
takes the form that fits the person and their personality and what they are.
And so it's changed. The mantle has passed on a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a cowboy for a while, right?
Well, way back in the days, yeah.
Right. There
was
was a storyline in the original series anyway where he was a cowboy.
In the original
So he
iteration
rode the
of Ghost Rider from back in the beginning of comics was a cowboy book.
Yeah, Sam Elliott.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, you know.
It's pretty badass, actually.
But yeah, so and then it became Johnny Blaze. They redid a thing in the '70s, and it became that for a while. And then in the '90s, it was his kid Danny Ketch, and his bike was a little bit more of a modern street bike kind of a look. And now, most recently, in the last couple of years, they did a version here where this kid out in Los Angeles is a young kid who's got a younger brother with some disabilities and stuff, but. His vehicle is this Dodge Charger that he's been building.
Okay. For a second, I thought you were going to say Caravan.
He's got
He's
no,
gotta get his
that's
brother-
you.
He's got to get his brother in the seat,
Yeah, exactly. That's the only thing. It's the only thing. It doesn't have the lift and all that, and it pops open. There's an armature that comes out. There
you go.
We stop all the action.
All right, what do we got next?
But,
I'll be right there, guys. I'll be kicking your ass in a
I'm
second.
gonna strap him in. I'll be right there. Meanwhile, it's like his head's flaming and shit. So that's something to look forward to. They unveiled the car actually on the Comic-Con, on the floor of Comic-Con. They had brought in the car there. Marvel's official video is actually from behind the car, so you can't see the front of it. Way to go, Marvel. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, and we're going to be getting a lot of news from Comic-Con this week.
Yeah.
We're recording this during Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So if any of this late Saturday, Sunday scoops aren't in this episode, that's why.
Yeah, we're recording this on a Saturday afternoon. So here's another one. I'll take this one because I put it in here really for me a little bit because I saw this. So there was a new episode of He-Man, supposedly, that premiered only at San Diego Comic-Con, and it was like done in the original series style.
Okay.
So all I saw was this little trailer that they put out, this little teaser of it, and I just wanted to say it was abysmal. Like even for He-Man standards, it's just like it was hardly even trying. It felt like.
Have you watched reruns of that? Have you watched that?
Don't get me wrong. I know it's trash. There's no cartoon show from when I was a kid that really holds up.
Yeah.
Quality-wise.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's very slow. It's
Well,
very deliberate
Yes.
compared to modern cartoons and
Well,
just modern
absolutely.
TV.
The thing that bothered me about this, that felt a little wrong, is because it seems like one of these things where it's done with modern style, like of animation production. So it's very clean lined. It's all drawn in that style and all that, but everything is very. There's no painted background or. So everything looks very much like how the animated characters themselves look.
Yeah.
So overall, the visual kind of changes, and the guy doing Skeletor does a decent Skeletor, but like the line of dialogue in the clip that they chose to include it just felt like off, like
it wasn't edited right, so it made sense.
No, that worked, but it was just like this kind of like really like Skeletor does his "you bungling fools" yada 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 kind of lines, you know what I mean? But this was just like I gotta get another place to go hang out. Or something. Like it was just really lame. It was the least interesting line Skeletor has ever uttered.
Kind of like I gotta get a better class of friends.
Yeah, but exactly. It just really wasn't no anger. It was just like this thing. Like I don't know. Is that supposed to appeal to us more now because we're older or something? I don't know. It was very awkward. So I just
who played Skeletor in the movie?
Langella.
Maybe it's supposed to be
Langella.
like
Okay.
maybe it's supposed to be like Skeletor now, like 20 years later. He's
Right.
old. He's tired. He's worn out. And he's just like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
You guys suck. I'm done.
Fair enough. All right. So who's next?
That'd be me.
I guess.
It would be. All right. So Neil Gaiman's Interworld is getting a TV series from Hamilton producer. I'm guessing that's.
So it's a book series of his.
Yeah,
from,
is it a book series or a comic?
No,
series?
I think it's novels. I think it's a couple novels he does with somebody else, and Ed had it in the notes, so I thought maybe he was familiar with the series. I thought maybe.
No, I just threw it in because it was Neil Gaiman.
Okay, just a whirl.
It was published by Gaiman and Michael Reeves.
So, something we're more familiar with for Neil Gaiman is that this week his American Gods trailer for his new Stars series, American Gods, dropped, and I think I'm the only one here who's read the book, but it's really good, and it's just there are living gods. They are embodiments of things. It's not just like Thor and Odin and these types, but there are like there's like an embodiment of God for like commerce and certain aspects of life, of human life. You know what I mean? So what's happened is as life now has changed so much, these gods have started to die off and are replaced with newer versions of themselves that are like different. So like now there's an embodiment or a god like of media. And there's another one of, I'm not going to remember them all. Oh, that sucks. But anyway, it's a really great book. The trailer looks amazing. And I didn't think that this would ever look as good as it is, but it's got Swearingen in it. He's in it. He's playing basically one of the leads. And I think he's Odin. Basically, is what it comes down to. They played coy with it, so I hope I didn't spoil it for anybody. But sorry, I don't know what's spoiler or not because they don't really.
Well, Odin
these
could
days,
be a version of Poseidon or something, couldn't it be? I mean, there's.
Well, yeah, I mean, but in the book, he's literally Odin.
I'm just trying to put a question mark there for people.
Oh, you were trying to give them an out?
Yeah.
That was too late. I think I sunk them.
Yeah, kind of. I was trying to pull them back.
Because the book doesn't.
Life preserver,
The book doesn't hold on to that too long as a reveal, but in the trailer they play coy with it. So I feel like I maybe gave something a little bit away. Oopsies. Hope that enticed you.
Unless they change it.
Well, it's right. Right now he might just be Larry the homeless guy. Also this week from Comic-Con, Luke Cage dropped.
Bunch of Netflix Marvel shows dropped trailers and teases, but the most detailed by far was Luke Cage.
Right.
Well, he's coming next, right?
He's coming next. He's
September, baby.
September.
Okay.
Close. 2 months.
Did you guys like it? Did you dig the trailer?
I thought it was awesome. I like the music in it.
Yeah, it was.
I think people are going to eat this
cool.
up.
Yeah, I think it looked really cool.
Especially, it's got a very urban, very New York feel.
Right. Sure.
So and the main character's black. This is going to be great. Locally, it's going to be a hit big time.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's they had Wu-Tang.
Yeah, for us here in New York, it's going to be a big hit.
But it's still also strangely it had kind of a 70s blaxploitation vibe to it.
It's got that enough.
You could feel definitely the roots of where that character came from. In that series.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think they're shying away from anything with it.
And
I think they're going to embrace all that history.
And even though we've seen this character before in Jessica Jones, this series looks like it's going to be completely different from that.
Yeah, they do this cool. They show us this cool scene where basically he rips a car door off of a vehicle and uses it as a battering ram to break in, to burst into a building, and
he wraps it around somebody else.
Yeah, it takes all the gunshots at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, although I don't really know why. I mean, he doesn't really need it.
No.
It's just for show.
Yeah, and I think maybe because I think in Jessica Jones too, it was a thing where like they both didn't really know their own limits yet. They weren't sure. They hadn't really I don't know if I can survive jumping off a building, kind of a thing. Like
that's true. And
so it might be that kind of a thing.
There's also the show too. I don't want people knowing how powerful I really am. Maybe I'm not.
Right.
Maybe I can explain away that I'm not a superhero.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
The door just came off by itself. I opened it and it just fell off the hinge.
It just fell. Look what the car came from.
There was a brief tease for Iron Fist.
There was some footage in there.
That was definitely a very 70s kung fu vibe.
Yeah, totally. Just some barefoot kid really running around the city, as far as I could tell.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I watched it, but I really don't remember much from it.
Because there's not much in it.
The only takeaway I really had from it is that he needs a haircut and a shave.
Yeah. He's definitely got
very
very
scruffy.
Yeah, he's a little scruffy. Yeah, I mean, they briefly show you some flashbacky stuff and a couple of monks randomly. But, it's a shorter tease. That's only like a minute long. And, you really don't get a lot out of it. But
you just know eventually that there's going to be two shows. This one and Luke Cage are going to come together at least. It just, it was such a natural for the
Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Power Man and Iron Fist, they got to come together.
What's the Heroes for Hire? Is that the
was
thing?
the thing that they did for a while. Yeah. Dial H for Hero, I think, might have been a thing for them too.
No, that's a
DC book. That's a DC. Yeah. Okay. But Heroes for Hire, which never really, stuck.
No, but that could be a good theme here because he's a private eye.
I think that's what it'll end up probably being. They'll work their way towards having a reference for it at some point. Maybe they'll have that whole conversation where, what did we name the company? How about Heroes for Hire? How about you shut up? You know what I mean? Something like that. So also there was a tease for Defenders, but it's a really quick tease. Nothing really too meaty there. It's just
basically telling you it's coming.
Yeah. It's just like, hey, it's
Yeah,
coming
I
down.
didn't see it, but
You're not really missing much.
No, it's just it's sound clips going over all of the logos.
Like
and
this montage kind of swirly thing. And
yeah.
It's cool, but it's just like,
Yeah, it's just to let people know it's coming. There's nothing to give away there.
It's something for people to get excited about.
I think this all leads into Daredevil, though, right?
Yeah, and then Daredevil got a green light for season 3, which was a given, basically. I mean, but
but the surprise there was it's going to be held off until.
It was okay.
It was going to be held off until.
They want Defenders to come out first.
Yeah, they want Defenders to come out first.
Okay, all right. Well, that's good to know. That's cool.
So,
Yeah.
So we're going to get Luke Cage, probably Iron Fist and Defenders before we get that, and then maybe again we'll get Jessica Jones finally.
Maybe even that. Maybe even Jessica Jones 2 before.
That's a possibility.
Before Defenders.
Yeah.
That would be good. I like it. Dom's got the next one.
All right, so a little something to get excited about if you've read the Walking Dead comic.
Oh
and
man,
you
I
watched
can't.
the show.
Oh man, I can't wait for this.
We did know that Ezekiel was coming this season, season 7.
They let
but
that
we
out.
didn't know that his pet tiger Shiva was going to be
oh my God, it's
making
so cool.
appearances in this show.
If you've missed it, check out the trailer for season 7 that came out from Comic-Con. And it's like
wait, hang on.
Wait.
Hang on.
Is it a tiger?
I don't read the comics.
Well, that's your problem.
There's a tiger
tiger?
walking around Virginia.
So yeah, well, why not? So at a certain
guess they
point
get
in the
zoos.
books,
so they meet up with at the point where the book and the show are meeting at right now with the whole Negan storyline.
right?
Rick and his gang in Alexandria find out that not so far away from them, there's a few other
Communities.
They find what was it,
The hilltop.
the hilltop at the end of this past season 6.
And then this will be the kingdom.
And then this will be the kingdom that I assume they're going to find sometime early on in season 7.
Yeah.
And in the kingdom, the leader there is this guy Ezekiel, and he's very theatrical. He's like,
yes,
he's he thinks himself as a king, and he talks with an accent, even though he's a black guy from the South.
You know what I mean? And like at some point, someone's like, "Oh, you don't even have an English accent?"
No.
He's like, "No, I do that just to keep them all
Right.
eating
so,
it up."
So the story on him, not to really spoil anything, but he before the apocalypse was a zookeeper, and he had a solid relationship with this tiger that was in captivity there. And I think
They used to chill. They used to go to the bar and stuff.
Yeah, she really had nowhere to go, obviously, after the zombies hit. So they just kind of took the road together and started fucking causing havoc on their own.
Right. Kept each other alive in a way.
So, long story short, you got a tiger. Odds are you're going to be the leader of a community.
Yeah, I think if we look around when everybody gets all together,
And,
like, who's gonna lead this? I'm like, I think that guy.
Yeah, there's a moment towards the
I'm going
end.
with that guy.
There's a moment towards the end of the big story arc with Negan that involves Shiva that is glorious.
Yeah.
That I hope they do on the show.
Right.
And if you've read the book, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. It's one of these great punches, twists,
Yeah.
or some kind of turn. But yeah,
Looking
it's one of
forward
those.
to seeing that, and it looks really good in the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
It doesn't look like. I mean, I don't know how real it is. I don't know if it's full
I
CGI.
can't wait. I can't wait to see some behind the scenes on how they're pulling that off. Like but very psyched, very stoked for that.
What do you got?
Oh, okay. So Arrow has also added a cast member, and they've added a bunch of cast members recently.
Right.
This one's Ragman.
Ragman.
About time, DC.
We've been talking about this.
And I think I don't know if
I have to pick if I have to pick a closeted DC character that's a favorite for me, it's Ragman.
Very good. Very good.
Right.
And I don't know if it was this show, but there was a podcast I was listening to where someone was describing Ragman and they got it wrong.
It was probably us.
Yeah, it was probably me.
Sounds mostly like
Because me and you.
I've read some of the comics.
Yeah.
All I know is that me and you were in total agreement, Bob, on the description that went forward from here.
Right.
But now today, when I was reading this article, I was like, oh, okay, this is like I got
no.
This guy's a little different.
No,
we lost an aspect.
The idea in the comics of Ragman is he wears this suit that's kind of like a patchwork quilt, and each patch on his costume represents the soul of a person, of an evil person who he's taken.
Right.
And those souls give him the power to do different things.
Right. He gets some skills or some abilities from that each patch.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. And basically, once that person fills their quota. It's like a purgatory. Once they fill their quota and help him do these good deeds, their soul eventually gets released.
Oh, okay.
Which
sounds that's very
cool.
That's very cool. But what about the daytime version of the character? Like, who is he when he's not Ragman? Because
that's
the Ragman I remember, it was a mentally unstable guy who was probably homeless in the neighborhood, and he was selling rags to make money. He was Jewish.
It's gone through. Yeah, that's another thing. This is a distinctly Jewish character.
Right.
That kind of plays into his mythos a lot.
Right, because the whole thing plays off of real life ragmen who would. This is how they would survive, and they were Jewish. This is how they would survive back in the day.
Yeah. But he's going to be going, and he's going to be played by Joe Nicole, who's a alumnus of Blind Spot. If anyone liked that show last season.
All right. Well, interesting. I just thought I'd put it in there because we were talking about him a couple of times on this show. So
very cool.
Interesting choice. Well, interesting to see what kind of costume or look they go with that guy.
It's definitely cool that they're bringing him to Arrow.
Yeah, because Arrow's doing this whole vigilante street level thing this year. So, so
I've never been into Arrow.
Yeah.
But this is definitely cool. Personally, I would think that Ragman would make a great character to have his own show.
Yeah.
You know, you could go dark. You could do almost anything with this kind of a character.
It really could. All right. So what's up next, kids?
All right. So we knew that the animated movie Batman: The Killing Joke was gonna get a theatrical release on one day. I think it was. It says here in this Heroic Hollywood article, Monday, July 25th. But due to an overwhelming demand, it's been extended to Tuesday, July 26th.
Right.
I guess in the theaters that they're showing the movie, you can see it.
Now there's another day
Monday
opened
or
up.
Tuesday.
Right.
Now I know they're showing it at our local theater, the All Staten Island Stadium 16.
When I looked the other day, it was still only on Monday. I don't know if they've put any time for Tuesday yet.
I can check now.
And it's like what, like next week?
It's this upcoming Monday.
So by the time you're listening to this,
right? Good
it'll
call.
be out.
It'll be out.
Yeah.
Go now, kids.
Yeah.
Go see it. Go see the one Batman comic story that no one ever thought would make it to screen.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it in the list for
Tuesday.
For
right?
Tuesday.
Yeah. Locally for us, it seems to just be on the Monday, but which means that's probably going to keep me from seeing it.
There's been some controversies about things. Do we want to spoil this, or I mean,
I think it's best. I think it's best to leave it on.
Because I feel like it was a thing like I wouldn't have wanted kind of.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know that, and all of these websites on a certain website, Bleeding Cool.
Well, not even them. I saw it on Comic Book Resources, and they had it right in the headline. And then as soon as you open up the page, it's like someone's Twitter account, and it just runs a GIF.
Yeah, I mean
of a scene straight from it that kind of gives this aspect away.
I haven't seen it yet, so
yeah, I guess this is the downside of premiering your movie at Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's a little bit of that, But hey, all in all, even with what I know about that, it doesn't in no way diminish it for me or change it so drastically where it's like I don't want to see it or some shit now. I still want to see it. I'm still gonna see it. I just don't know when or where. All right. So what's this next one? Kind of creepy, kind of weird. Wasn't expecting this, but this movie, The Woods, seems to have been a.
They pulled a Cloverfield.
They pulled a Cloverfield. It was a whole time. It was a Blair Witch sequel.
Oh yeah.
I'm not familiar off the top of my head with the director, but when I saw it originally come out when the movie poster came out for The Woods. We seem to be getting some decent attention for whatever reason. Maybe because I guess he's got some stuff in his background or whatever. But I don't know what to make of it, really. I don't know how much has really been revealed or discussed about what is in this movie now.
I mean, it's not a found footage movie.
Right. It's like the Blair Witch story, I bet. You know what I mean? As opposed to that other Blair Witch sequel.
Book of Shadows.
Oh, Book of Shadows. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, where they tried to mix the two. That was fun.
Oh, right.
It was a narrative movie where
Maybe
you
I
were
did
following
see
these
that.
people, but they kept going to the footage of their camcorders as they're going. It's just no.
No, okay. Because I know, I mean...
I see the description here, and I just think it's going to be basically Jason
Okay.
The first one. I mean, they're in the woods.
Yeah. It's all that shit.
You know,
sure.
Yeah. So it's gonna be kind of like
it's creepy slasher,
Right.
woodsy slasher.
Right, like there was at the insurance commercial when everyone's an idiot and they're like, no, let's hide behind the chainsaws.
Right.
Oh, it's standard horror fare.
Yeah,
Like,
make it easy for them.
There's a quota. They got to make at least 3 or 4 of these a year. So
People got to die on film.
Well, they're
It's
low
just got-
budget. They make money.
Exactly.
So we're gonna get them as long as they're smart. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean,
you know?
we won't know until we actually see something of it. That's the thing, you know. So,
And long gone are the days when you could get by with just a basic slasher flick.
well, that's the thing too. To
Yeah,
have it
so-
really be something big and special and important. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Otherwise, it just kind of
That was why
middle
Blair
ground.
Witch was different.
Yeah,
Because
at the time.
it came right after the time when it was like, Jason 8 and Freddy 5 and all that.
And I bet you it would still hold up and be creepy as hell to watch it because
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
because it's got a lot of creepy.
It's got that raw
moments.
feel.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
That raw video feel. That
It totally works.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 2 more here. We got 2 more in the news.
So the Hulk's gladiator armor from Thor Ragnarok
What?
has been revealed.
What?
It was Ryan Penagos, I guess that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Posted up a Twitter video
Oh,
of the unveiling of the armor, and looks a bit like has some relation to Planet Hulk.
it's
Definitely.
exactly
That's
the Planet
definitely
Hulk stuff.
Planet Hulk armor.
It's a back door, baby.
Yeah, man.
This is how we get the Planet Hulk movie.
This is it. We got
without Disney having to pay Universal to release a solo Hulk movie.
There you go. And also take the risk of will that movie work or not work? Will it be a bust? Like, just minimize that risk.
Yeah.
And also beef up a Thor movie because not for nothing. Like, I'm not saying Thor movies don't make money or that they stink outright, but they are not they're not at the level of some of the other movies in Marvel's franchising. You know what I mean?
Of like the big 3 franchises, like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, I think Thor is kind of bringing up the rear there.
Yeah, it seems like.
Yeah.
He needed a little help. He needed a little help from
I
friends.
enjoyed both.
I liked them.
Oh, they're not to say they're not good. They're both good.
Sure.
But just,
In the end, it's about dollars and cents for that company, and it's like, these guys.
Yeah.
That's the one everybody, Thor's the guy that everybody points to, like, this guy. Not so strong now, are you? And then right before the show today, the Wonder Woman trailer dropped.
Did
Whoa.
this one we did all see.
We did. We watched it as a group.
we really didn't talk about what we thought about it at all?
No,
Yeah,
that
we-
was a good thing. Now
probably.
talk about it now.
Well, Captain Kirk shows up.
Captain Kirk, like,
Really?
he must have just, they're doing the whole timeline thing.
Yeah, showed up in what, 1942? It looks like.
Yeah.
No, this is World War I. It's like
1917.
1918,
Ooh.
something like that. Yeah.
Ancient history.
Yeah.
100 years ago or better.
All right.
Like
That's
it.
right. That's what the footage was in the Batman movie.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The pictures and stuff that they showed were all from World War One.
Correct. Correct.
This was the tie. This is how it was going to tie in. I guess they thought about at one point of doing the Wonder Woman movie first. They could have chronologically.
Well, they could have probably, but I think
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
enough that it was side by side development that
Right.
they knew that they could drop the Easter eggs in there nice and smoothly,
Yeah.
which is cool, which is really cool. I think what's his name is Steve Trevor.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine is wearing the biggest turtleneck I've ever seen on a man. It's a really wide. I could snuggle in
Yeah.
there. I think I can get in there. We could be like the man with two
I
heads.
think they just took
Yeah.
the sheepskin and just like wrapped
Yeah,
it around
that-
him.
that's what I was
It's
if you,
cold in a sweater.
if you look at period garb and if you look at like that era military uniforms,
Sure.
that was the style.
Oh, no,
That
I
was
know.
the-
Yeah, everything was. Their collars were huge.
Yeah.
They're trying to stretch your neck with cotton.
But the trailer looked pretty freaking good, man. It's
Looked awesome. Great action.
The costume has like colors that
that aren't completely muted.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're
like
dull,
like
but they're not.
the gold
buried.
Right.
like
And-
pops.
And wow, what a thing! Considering that this is a movie that actually takes place before color TV.
Bob
Way
wants it in
before
black and white. Bob was like, this movie should have been in black and white.
Well, I think most people would think before color TV, the world wasn't in color.
You never know. Like, when did all of a sudden color come into? Like, when did flowers get color?
Right? I mean, all the proof you have is that of the pictures.
I guess
of the
that's a
era,
good point. It's a
right?
fair point. Like a little kid could think a thing like that for sure. Probably some kids probably have. But yeah, the action looked really good. I really don't have any. Like, I can't really.
No, it wasn't that long, so we really couldn't see anything that could be considered a flaw.
Yeah.
It was just long enough to show you a lot of good stuff. And her on the battlefield with the shield.
Yeah, I feel like it was a decent. It was a good length though. But like,
Yeah, it was
no
about
bumps,
what, 2
no
minutes.
bruises. You know.
It was like 2 minutes long. It was a good solid two
Yeah.
and a half minutes, and
You get the idea of Themyscira. I think
Yeah.
you see the world that she's coming from. It seems like a lot of it's first act stuff.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But
Yeah.
a lot of bullets flying, a lot of her
Yeah.
dodging bullets.
I think that's when that's the like after the reveal of who she is. Here's Wonder Woman.
I
you
mean,
know?
the bullets are conveniently hitting every piece of armor she has. Like even her shin guards at one point. Like nothing catches her in the leg, nothing's catching her in the
One thing I
knee.
did notice that I didn't really like, that might change when I see the movie, because obviously it's like a 2-minute trailer. You know, you really can't see much of it, but I didn't really like how the lasso looked.
There was a thing where the lasso was
Yeah.
glowing,
Like,
It was glowing yellow.
and it's an
Yeah.
action scene, so the camera's doing a lot of moving. So it might be a thing where it's like, did they not capture that effect right?
I think it's also they wanted to distinguish the lasso from the rest of the background.
So much.
Like it's the because if especially if you're doing a wide shot,
Yeah,
and
you're not gonna
someone's
see that
throwing that
rope.
around. It's not it's not going to be very visible. You want so that's why they probably accentuated more.
I think
so
the
you could
thing
actually
is,
see it.
Right, that there's less of a blur effect on the lasso itself. So in those action scenes, when everything else is moving around, the lasso feels very bright and static almost. It's a weird thing. They'll probably adjust it in post.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
it'll
think
be
Dom's right on
adjusted.
that. That's the kind of thing
yeah, I'm sure
that people are going to cry about.
Yeah, they'll dial
lasso
it
sucks.
down enough. It
Yeah.
does kind of come off almost like the hockey puck thing on Fox.
And we're very lucky that
A little bit, yeah.
that Warner Brothers decided to release a full res version like today, because they literally just showed this on the con floor about a couple hours ago.
Yeah, this is hot.
Hot, steamy, hot.
Yeah, and generally they want the Comic-Con exclusives to be Comic-Con exclusives, but I guess they wanted to beat Periscope to the punch.
And we got no real visible plane, though. Unless it was there and we didn't see it.
No.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ed.
That's
for
a
that.
good point.
Thank you, Ed. All right, and then
I couldn't bring myself to laugh on that.
thank you, Dom, as well, though, because I needed that too. That's what keeps me from doing it all the time, is knowing that I pick and choose, you know. All right, so little Pokemon Go news. Did people get hurt in this stampede that's in this article? Does anybody know for sure? This is in the other. We're pretty much wrapping up our San Diego Comic-Con coverage. I'm sure a million other things happened. We mentioned that earlier. And if you're into nerd stuff and geek stuff, you're getting swamped with all that stuff. So that's just the highlights that hit us. The other thing that we have in the news, though.
So the NYPD has actually issued safety guidelines for people using Pokemon Go.
Oh, it's that dangerous of a game.
Yeah. So basically, a lot of trainers have been flooding Central Park.
Like exercise trainers, like guys like
No.
Pierre and
Pokemon trainers.
Okay.
So basically,
Ash,
yeah. So
Right.
basically,
Misty.
Gotcha.
there's a poster of a Pokemon character who I don't recognize. It's a woman with purple hair.
That's
who's
Bulbasaur.
wearing a policeman's uniform.
Oh, okay.
And it says Pokemon Go safety tips. First, be alert at all times! Exclamation point.
Right.
And do not drive while using the app! Exclamation point.
That's number 2. Okay.
Do not trespass onto private property and be aware of closing times at parks and other public spaces. Period. I think because the previous 2 were exclamation points, so that period means it's not as important.
Right, not as much emphasis.
Have fun and stay safe.
Is the and all capitals or something?
Yes, that's why.
Well, there's another and there. It says in fine print, and if any of these bother you, get yourself institutionalized because you're a Kardashian.
Yeah, well, have fun and
What the fuck?
Well,
does
because
that
you're an
even
idiot.
mean?
You're an idiot.
Oh,
They
okay,
don't
all right, I guess,
they don't
okay.
play Pokemon.
They don't even know what it is.
Honestly,
No, they pay their rates to play Pokemon for them.
Yeah. So,
Right, go collect all these things for me. I'll be here.
So have
I'll be
fun.
here getting my ass injected.
So it says, have fun and stay safe. Good luck in your quest, and happy hatching, trapping, and training at the Pokemon Gym. So they actually try to say, we think this is fun and you guys should do it, but you've got to follow these 3 rules.
We're trying not to shit on you as we give you all these rules to just please pay attention to what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot. Look where you're going.
Oh my god.
Scary.
It's
It's the only word I can use to describe it.
you still haven't played any, right?
No, I refuse.
Why not? Why won't you? I think
I
I
thought
would,
about it, but
you're
then
a
one night
youthful
when
young man.
when it first came out, the first few days,
Right.
I thought about it, but I couldn't bring myself to get out and chase chase fake Pokemon.
Heaven
And
forbid
then-
if a friend of mine saw me.
And then I thought about it,
Right.
and then I drove past. I was driving, I think on Nelson Avenue. If you live on Staten Island, you know where that is. And I was passing St. Clair's Church, and they have a huge parking lot there. And as I'm passing, it's nighttime. It's like 9 o'clock, and there was just crowds of people walking around. And I know you can't see me right now, whoever's listening, but they literally just had their phones in their hands, just dead staring at their phones. Hundreds of people walking around like zombies, man. And I stopped my car. I told you about this.
Yeah, I know.
Stopped my car, pulled over for a second, just had to fucking take it in because I was like, this is something out of the fucking Walking Dead right here.
That's what it
Nobody
looks like.
talking to each
That's
other.
pretty much what it
No
looks
one-
like, right? It's
No
like,
one even acknowledging that they were there.
Pokemon.
And I was like, wow, this is some 1984 shit right here.
Right.
This is what they were fucking telling us about. This is what, like, this is. I got Alex Jones for a minute. I was like, this is what they were fucking telling us about.
Your Pokemon goes. They're gonna destroy America.
Yeah. And I refused to download it.
I don't blame you then. I don't blame
Because
you.
of that.
You know, and that's what everybody says. And then I'm glad that you managed to see it before you took a plunge into it. I know our friend Agent Palmer downloaded it, and he was like, "Yeah, it's exactly what I thought it was. Not for me."
Yeah,
I'm like,
if,
all right,
honestly,
like,
if
why'd
I
you
can't,
bother?
the way I am with apps, like I don't have time during the day to play them. So if I can't play it while I'm laying in bed the night before,
Right.
the night, like while I'm trying to sleep,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking play it. I don't have time.
Well, I think the whole point of this app is to encourage nerds and the like to
Spend
go
money.
out and be active.
Spend money.
Yeah.
It's to
The whole
encourage
point is
them
to take over your life.
and get you somehow to buy because it's a freemium, right? I'm sure it's free to play, but there's stuff you can buy in the game.
I don't think so.
Then what's the point of doing
I'm sure
it?
there are.
It's got to be. It's
But-
got to.
I
have
read
a
an
pay-
article the other
pay
day
system.
though that
Maybe not a lot.
I read an
but-
article from Vox the other day
Mhm.
that said why Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all these things, and like game apps are still free,
Right.
and it's because they have fucking like contracts with Verizon,
Right.
AT&T, and all these cell phone companies that if we fucking make the apps so where like the cell phone user uses an incredible amount of data
Right.
while they're
right.
using
It's a
them,
kickback
they
kind of thing.
kick the money back that's like used from that.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
how your fucking Instagram and all your shit is still free.
Right. It's this mutual agreement that a
yeah.
bunch of these companies have.
Crazy
Wow.
shit.
Not surprised.
Is that why the Twitter app on my Windows phone sucks?
Well, that's why it's never really off.
Yeah.
It's always listening. But that's the NSA too. Shh, don't say that name. All right. So that's gonna wrap up the news stuff, and then we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come right back.
We'll return after these messages.
Introducing the evil mutant warriors, Ratero, Vulture-Man, Groom the Destroyer, battle against Lion-O and the new Thundercat allies, Hatchet-Man, Snowman, Tusker Warrior. The battle is on for the Sword of Omen. Figures and vehicles each sold separately from LJN.
All right. Ooh, we're back, and
Breaking news.
Wow.
This happens like every year when we record on a Saturday of Comic-Con. But yeah, we were going to leave the news, but trailer for Justice League just dropped.
Comic-Con just threw another one down our throat last minute.
I don't know if you call that a trailer. It looks like it's just like footage that they've edited in a certain order.
Yeah, there were
That's called a trailer usually.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this
It's an accumulation of video footage.
there's no featured song. It's just like temp music.
It's more like a presentation piece. Is that
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of thing
that's-
you mean?
that's-
It's more
yeah,
like
that's what I
It's a
mean.
Comic-Con
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give you that.
I'm pretty sure that's a White Stripe song.
Yeah, that's
was
White.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's White Stripes playing in that, and
I don't know music. Just like Bill doesn't know math.
Right,
That's
true.
true. That's-
It's not. That's not correct. That is not anything similar to this.
No, but I mean, we all have our kryptonites. But speaking of Superman and that, no sign of him.
Yeah. So
Nope.
yeah. So I was just saying before we started recording again that they put out this teaser image of the team
Right.
a few minutes before they posted up the trailer online, and all 7 of them are there.
He's all front and
is it,
center.
how many, is it 7 or 6?
It's 6.
6, right? They
Remember
left
the-
Green Lantern out.
Yeah.
Math is my problem. Remember that too.
Well, usually it's 7, so give me a
Fair
fucking
enough.
break.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
So they put all 6 of them in, including Superman, right front and center. and then they leave him out of the trailer because if you saw Batman vs Superman, he dies at the end.
Oh my God!
He did?
Right. He did.
I don't know why, but he did.
I thought just the movie died.
Well, that
too. He took the movie with him.
Yeah.
But
so they leave him out of the trailer, obviously, which I get. They leave him out of the trailer, which I get because he's dead. Like you want to keep
that going.
The audience reeling, obviously, and then
and that's also kind of why I'm not calling this a trailer. I'm just calling this footage.
Well, they're gonna call it a teaser.
Yeah,
is what they're gonna go by.
Yeah, because it seems like it's mostly stuff from 2 specific scenes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more interlaced in there just to make it, like you're saying. Yeah, that other sporadic stuff is to make it feel more trailer-ish. Yeah. But it is a lot of one particular scene with Fish Face or Aqua Boy. Is that his name?
Arthur Curry.
Oh, don't just Aquaman.
Aquaman. It's Batman asking Aquaman to join the team, and Bruce Wayne asking Aquaman to join the team, and Bruce Wayne asking the Flash to join the team, and the juxtaposition of that is hysterical.
Well,
which is the big thing about this trailer.
there's a couple of funny moments. Yeah, Ed, what the fuck?
Okay.
You have to say footage now every single time.
It's footage.
Every time you say trailer for this, you have to give me $1. All right. But in this trailer. I can say it. The first thing I noticed, I was like, "Oh, Batman's got a beard." All right, so are we gonna see bearded Batman? Like, he puts the cowl on, and then you see him later on. It's like, oh no, he's shaved.
Kind of like Nick Cage in Kick-Ass.
Right. And at a certain point, it's like, I think he was supposed to shave before he put that on. But it looks really good, man. I think by showing us actual scenes as opposed to just a montage of little snippets, that actually you get a better feel for what's kind of like in this movie and what they're kind of shooting for a little bit.
Yeah, well, obviously you know that it's going to be, just, I'm assembling a task force.
Yeah. I'm putting together a team.
Yeah.
Some rogues.
That's going to be a serious part of the first, part of the movie.
It's going to be Ocean's 11. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? The beginning of it. It's, got to pull off this job, And
then, guy comes into town, beats a few people up.
Yeah. Falls in love with a chick, saves his day.
Brings some fish.
Brings a fisherman with him.
I actually like that about this trailer. I actually was kind of surprised by that. I hope that he plays that big of a role in this new DC series.
Yeah, no. That might be why they focused on him so much.
It definitely still has that look from the last show, but not as much. It still feels like it's gonna rain cats and dogs any minute.
Yeah. Right.
But everyone else doesn't look washed out as much.
Yeah, at least with those.
I think Zach's dialing it back a little bit. I think he needs to dial it back more.
Yeah,
this is supposed to be a brighter movie.
Well, and I think it is on a basic scale because they're trying to graduate away from that. Right. And these two scenes, one is underground and the other one is in an Alaskan looks like fishing thing. So both of those by default have to be a little gloomy. Probably.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I think overall it does what it's supposed to do. Mm-hmm. It's getting you interested. There's a little bit of humor there. It's got you thinking positive of it.
There's personality.
There you go. There you go. It has a little bit of Westernality. I'm sorry, personality.
Bob's showing his age. Any Westernality references?
Florence Henderson.
Good times.
Florence Henderson.
So I don't know how much else we can really say about that before just repeating ourselves. So we're really excited. It looked a lot better, more interesting.
Yeah. I don't know about excited for me, but I'm happier with it.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely a more positive way to go with this movie. It's a more.
I like that we got to see the kid playing Barry actually, and got to see a little bit of the personality they're going with on him.
Yeah, it seems a little Peter Parkerish.
Yeah, it's definitely some awkward nerd kind of thing going on.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that though.
Yeah, it works.
So it works.
Yeah. And it's different from Grant Gustin.
Yes.
Which I think is good.
Right. If that guy had just kind of played a straight laced kind of guy,
right,
without like really any kind of tics or personality coming through that as much as it does, like it would have felt a little too similar to other things. Mm-hmm. Like I'm glad that they found a tick.
And he looks like he's still a science nerd, but it seems like he's more of a techie science nerd.
Yeah, well, when he turns on the lights, all of a sudden I was like, is that the Batcave? And it's like, no, it's just this kid's house.
I envisioned a scene from the movie Hackers.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Yeah, exactly that.
Or from Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Ice-T, the scene with Ice-T, and he's got all the TVs in the background.
Yep.
So,
I haven't heard someone mention that movie in like 15 years.
That's because it sucked.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why people are avoiding it.
Yeah, that's the one where Cannon went, whoa, I shouldn't have done that.
All right, so we talked about it earlier. We have a very special guest coming.
Here he is.
And into the show. Coming, I think the portal is warming up. What people need to know is that he was rather famous back in the 80s. These days, he's quieted down. He doesn't really do as much of the old, craziness. These days, he's really just got a nationally syndicated Vice column, which is kind of crazy. A crazy turn for an 80s celebrity to kind of turn into that.
Not unheard of, though.
I mean, they gotta do something with their time. Everyone needs a career.
Right.
A job, a way to make some money.
Yes.
These things, they dry up. But this is a 4-mic show, so basically I have to give over my chair, and he's gonna sit in, and I gotta make a phone call, so I'll just let you guys handle it, and I'll be in the other room if you need me. If you need me, you guys can totally just come get me or something.
This.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
got it.
All right. So I mean, if you guys are gonna be good with this,
Yeah.
So drop your deuce.
Just
thanks.
on your way out. On your way out, just play the entrance music.
I'll hit that, and just don't let him touch any of the equipment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know what he's gonna do.
Should we turn the portal on?
Yeah. I think the portal. There it is.
Here he comes.
There it is, folks. There it is. All the way from Third Earth. Is all right. That's enough with the portal. Well, unless you're gonna do it for 4 minutes.
It's a very phallic-looking.
I don't know why Bob's got penis on the mind. So all the way from Third Earth, it's Mumm-Ra.
The ever living.
The ever living.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for having me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be here.
How's it going?
Very good. You've got my music.
You okay? You settled into that chair. The cape and everything. I don't want you to get anything caught.
How's the temperature in here? Because it sounds to me like you're...
It's very comfortable.
You're not sweating.
No, I'm old. I do not sweat any longer. I like it ice cold. This is a good place.
All right, so, Mumm-Ra.
Hold on, don't rush to the questions yet, young lad.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking falling apart for me.
No one has asked me why I'm here.
Oh, God. So, Mumm-Ra, why are you here, man?
Because I have a new nationally syndicated advice column.
Really?
Yes! Yes!
Wow. So, is it in all the AP papers?
Nothing on this planet.
Oh, all right.
Only on Third Earth.
Third Earth.
All of the papers on Third Earth.
Gotcha. Well,
big time.
It's funny. In anticipation of your arrival,
yes,
we actually had a few of our listeners send in questions that they would like you to answer. Maybe some of the advice that you're offering in this column. Maybe you can lend it to some of our listeners. Do you think you'd be open to that?
I think first I'll have to summon the strength. Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mumm-Ra, the ever-giving of advice.
There we go. All right.
Who has a tissue for Robert?
Sorry, Mumm-Ra. I think I'm allergic to your fur.
It could be that I don't have fur. It's my mummy wrappings that I believe you're
that's it. It's the dander from the mummy wrappings.
Or my...
I think you've confused Mumm-Ra with Snarf.
How dare you!
So
I guess that's because he's always trying to eat Snarf.
Yeah. That's not true either. Watch the show.
So we've divided the questions between us. Which one of us wants to
yes,
first?
who would like to read the first question? Send me an email.
So this one comes from Sally in Baton Rouge. I'm going to kick it off here. Sally, thanks for listening. You've been a dedicated listener to us for years now, and just really appreciate the support. Love you, baby. So, from Sally. I know you're from Third Earth, but whatever happened to First and Second Earth?
This is a good question. The First Earth I lost in a poker game, back when I attended the University of Evil. And the Second Earth, I also lost in a poker game when I was attending the University of Evil. It was a rough time for me at college. Next question.
All right. Gary in Raleigh asks, Dear Mumm-Ra, my boss wants me to work on Saturdays, and that
bastard!
And that was never included when my salary was agreed upon. How do I get more money from him without spoiling the workplace atmosphere?
You came to the wrong place for advice.
But I thought you had an advice column.
For that particular question. Because I paid nothing to my minions. Slithe or Monkeyin or the Jackal Man. I pay them nothing. They do it for the promise of power. That is yet to show itself either, but one day, one of these plans will work, and I'll get them something, I'm sure. Next question, then. Follow-ups? We do follow-ups now? Okay, hit me with it.
Do the ancient spirits of evil pay you?
You dare mention the ancient spirits of evil?
Just asking.
I think you need certain kinds of paperwork in order to be able to do that.
All right, fine.
Next question.
Mumm-Ra.
Yes.
Joe in Port Richmond asks,
a local boy.
Dear Mumm-Ra.
Yes.
My town has become overrun with stray cats. Is there anything I can do to get rid of them?
Oh, I can relate to this question in particular. First, you have to alter your form using demon magic and disguise yourself as a more sympathetic form. And then strike when they are not expecting it. Yes, I believe that's what you're supposed to do.
Are you okay, Mumm-Ra?
I'm 235 years old.
You're turning purple.
You don't want a glass of water?
It probably won't help. It'll make it worse.
Just go right through.
It'll pass right through my kidney onto the floor. Hey, I believe that is all the time I have. The portal is closing.
Oh well,
we'll have to.
So Mumm-Ra,
sure.
I know you're a first time. I know you're a first time guest on the
That's true.
podcast.
Yes.
Usually we give our guests a quiz, nerd quiz.
Oh shit!
Like
I mean,
I just wanted to ask you one simple nerd question.
Okay. All right. All right. Yes.
I don't know if you would know it since you're really not from this earth, but
the third Earth.
What?
Third Earth.
Third Earth, yeah.
That's his home.
Not this Earth.
That's where I'm from.
But what's Spider-Man's name?
Man. No one calls him Spider. They just call him Man.
Mumm-Ra, everybody.
Mumm-Ra, thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, Mumm-Ra, why are you still here?
I'm trying to make it around the table to get to the portal.
Portal's closing.
Come back whenever you feel like it.
Be careful, Edward, or leave that door open. I'll climb right through.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mumm-Ra, thank you for coming. Mumm-Ra, before you go,
what?
We need someone to pick a number for our Preacher vs. Preacher contest. Would you mind picking a number between 0 and 9, but not the number 4?
It sounds like a scam or a scheme to me. I love it! I'll pick 6.
All right, so there it is. 6, guys.
There's the number.
Thank you very much, Mumm-Ra.
And we won't see it again.
All right.
Anyone else want to clap for fucking Mumm-Ra? Thank you.
All right, Mumm-Ra. I guess he'll pop back up maybe one day. I don't know. We'll have to see if the portal ever opens up.
We'll see what the response to him on Twitter was.
Yeah, we'll see how anybody was into that. And then I'll have to make a phone call. It's a long distance call. We have to set it up. It's like the portal opens up only every so often.
Yeah, maybe next time we can get Lion-O instead.
We might. That's possible. You chuckle, but it's possible. All right. So with that, we're gonna go into some emails.
Oh, that's right. We do that too.
But emails, I don't know if people know this about the email section that we do. But Ed sends us emails. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe it's because he likes the show.
Force a habit.
Force a habit. You never told me to stop, so I'll keep going. All right, Ed, what do you have for your first email.
Okay, I got 4 questions for everybody today. First up, gentlemen.
Sir.
What's the strangest thing you've ever done for a Klondike bar?
Paid.
Yep.
That's about as strange as it got.
What I was going to say.
That's about as strange as I've ever got. You know.
Anyone was going to ask me to do something ridiculous for a Klondike bar, I think I'd just get myself something else.
Now, if you ask me what's the most ridiculous thing I've done with a Klondike bar, I'd have an answer for that.
Oh yeah, what's
Yeah.
that?
Well, you do next to.
What's
that's
the,
not suitable
what's the
for
most
YouTube
ridiculous
answer.
thing you've ever done with a Klondike
Take my
bar?
time eating it, and then basically the ice cream just slides out between these 2 firm pieces of chocolate that don't melt, and then the whole white, it just stays like a rock. But somehow it's just a slide right out, and I've actually been standing there with just those 2 pieces of chocolate in my hand, and that's on the floor. But that's a personal story. That's a personal horror. But that's it for me.
All right.
So what you would do for a Klondike bar is not pick it up off the floor.
Well, that's I don't like it that much. Fair enough.
All right,
Sir.
Gentlemen.
Sir.
How long is too long to wait before making a sequel?
Too long?
Nowadays,
I don't know if there could be such thing as
not.
to make a sequel.
Yes. So from the last movie,
It depends on how. I think that would depend on how the first one was received.
Yeah, and even with that,
Because I think it was really good. You can go 10 years. I mean, look, we're going to get a Blair Witch sequel 20 years later.
but will it be? But will it be good? Has it
I
been?
mean, I don't know if there's a way to really truly quantify it. And that's a good question, though. I think it's a good question. Is there such a thing as waiting too long to make a sequel to a thing? I think it depends on what you do with the sequel. Like, if you're talking about a thing where it's like, oh, when this movie came out and these 2 actors were young and this made this action adventure movie and now they're old, then yeah, you probably waited too long to get these 2 guys to sign on. Like, but I don't know. Fair enough. I was in my head trying to think of like a thing for that. Like, if they wanted to make another Lethal Weapon movie right now, like with those 2 guys, regardless of any other issues with Mel Gibson, but just like it'd be like just stop.
It would have to be. Yeah, it would have to be in the nursing home. The nursing home investigations.
I think it depends on the setup for certain things.
Because we've had a lot of sequels this summer that have underperformed and not done, sort of Zoolander 2s and other is
Well,
I bet you
that was too long.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I bet you if you rattled off those sequels, those first movies weren't really that great of movies anyway. They might have caught a little bit of fire when they came out because aspects of them were good, and you could kind of have a conversation about them maybe or something. But they weren't like gangbuster fucking movies.
But like from what I'm asking is from when a movie comes out,
right?
How long do you think you can wait before you lose that buzz?
Well, that depends on, again, if the movie was really well received or not. I mean, like a movie like Zoolander, that was well received, but he waited how long to make Zoolander 2?
About 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And he doesn't look like he could pull off being a model anymore. Ben Stiller's gotten too old for that character.
And not only that, but Ben Stiller hasn't really stayed on the radar during that time. That was a movie he was hoping was going to restart his own career or something.
Which brings up the point I want to get to, which is there are 2 types of sequels.
Sure.
There are sequels you make to cash in right away, and then there are sequels you make because nobody's giving you a deal and you need to make a movie.
Right. And there's a third type, I'll say, which is the rarer type, which is that a sequel was always kind of part of the plan, or it was always in the discussions where it was like the creative team, like that was like an idea, like they always that was something they were kind of working towards. You can almost feel it in the movies, some of those movies where it's like, oh, there's a sequel
they're promoting
in play.
They're promoting the first movie,
right?
Fully knowing that in their heads at least they're writing it so that there can be a sequel,
right? That kind of a thing, like But I don't know if there's a hard and fast time. Obviously, some movies you could just tell.
Yeah,
that movie waited too long.
I think people's tastes are subjective, so and people themselves are subjective and flighty. So
it sounds very subjective.
The answer is it depends.
It's a meh. We'll see.
All right. Gentlemen.
What
classic TV theme songs would benefit from more cowbell?
Saved by the Bell.
Hawaii 5-0.
I'm going to go with Dom. Saved by the Bell definitely probably should have had more bell in it.
Yeah.
Real lack of bell. I mean, just the school bell, not enough.
Yeah, that was
Dom's
just like a classic hard rock guitar kind of.
Yeah, but it
surfy
started with the school bell or the alarm clock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, because the alarm clock is actually the first line, I think. Fucking, but all I know is it was all right because he was saved by the bell.
Yeah, now I'm saying Hawaii 5-0.
Isn't that
just keep that cowbell every beat? Conk 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 conk.
Yeah, I can see it. Not a bad call there. There's a lot of other things that could save some of those songs.
The Munsters?
I don't know if Cowbell could save. There's not enough Cowbell in the world to save some of those fucking theme songs, man. Ooh.
Oh, I think you could put Cowbell in just about anything.
How about that? What was the one I was talking about earlier? Anywhere you go, anywhere you look, to some shit. It's stuck to
Full
your
House.
boots.
Well, that needs like a heavy metal guitar.
That's what I'm
like
thinking.
Drop D tuning.
Yeah. There you go.
You know, a little growling of the lyrics, death metal style.
I like it already.
Fan music challenge.
Can we also work on rewriting the show so they're like a death metal band that goes on tour as a family?
That's easy. Jesse's a musician.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesse just turns into
Wait,
it.
hey, no. Dennis Leary's doing that show on FX. It's called Sex and Drugs and Rock and Roll.
Yeah, but Dennis Leary's doing it. It may not be that funny. Anyway, carry on, my wayward son. What do you got
All
next?
right, last question. This one's a little serious.
Oh, boy. Strap in.
What classic sitcom couple should probably have broken up or gotten divorced?
All of them.
Sitcom couple. So only in the show where they...
Like those characters should not have been together.
Martin and Gina?
That's the Bundys. Peggy and Al.
I'm just going to say any one of them where the wife is constantly annoyed with him being a jackass or stupid or having schemes. Any one of them. So that's like Alice in the Honeymooners. It's Gina on Martin. I don't know how Gina put up with his bullshit. If I was Gina, I would have fucking... If I knew Gina, I would have snuck in the house at night and just rescued her. Not for like somebody like, oh, hey, like I'm trying to like make you fall in love with me. Just like I would have put her on like a fire department doorstep and just been like, you need to get some counseling.
What about, according to Jim, he never left that friggin' seat.
There's fucking that guy.
Right.
That's some interesting...
His wife was in and out of the house all day long. He's sitting there in front of the TV the entire time.
But it just seems like, that's the thing. Like it's a good question because it's like on some of those shows, it's like the wife is really... the normal one, and it's the guy who's always the crazy.
Well, yeah, that's because after the Huxtables, the only way to do a sitcom successfully has been to the only safe person to abuse in a sitcom to be the butt of the jokes has been the dad.
Oh yeah, but I think that goes way. It goes back before that because I think Archie Bunker was a similar prototype for that. Like, you know what I mean? The dad's always
he was
kind
probably
of
the prototype for it, but because it was based on racism, it was like a strong.
He was a grouch. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah.
You're getting all the humor, the majority of the humor from him.
Whereas like the Married with Children type, it was more of a slob.
Yeah, and whereas he embraced that was the thing about Al Bundy. Al Bundy embraced all of his shortcomings. So you couldn't get him on any of that shit. Right. So Al Bundy becomes the guy who's like, in that house, he's the voice of reason.
Yeah, but Carol O'Connor was his character was he was retired, working and then retired.
Right.
Hardworking guy, blue collar guy, who he was just ignorant.
Well, yeah, for Archie Bunker, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I was.
There was nothing. There was nothing to him that was like he was an idiot or anything like that. He was just ignorant, and that was the whole basis for it.
And you loved him for it,
right? He wasn't a buffoon or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean,
the buffoonery came later.
Yeah. Right. The buffoonery would come when, at times in the show, when that racism would get displayed because he would do something completely ridiculous.
Right.
Like say to Sammy Davis Jr., would you like some more drink in your eye? Because he had the glass eye. Because the whole episode was him saying, "Don't look at his eye," because he's got the glass eye.
I remember
you know
that
what
one.
I mean?
I remember that. That was after. That was actually from Archie's place.
Well, if you say so.
I think so.
I mean, I feel like Sammy was probably
after he retired.
Yeah, but when Sammy Davis Jr. comes to the house,
that was
episode,
all.
he leaves something in Archie's cab, and then he comes back to the house to retrieve it, like his briefcase or something. And so he's like Archie's trying to like get him to stay and hang around, but the whole time Archie's like, when he comes here, don't look at his eye because it's a glass eye and it's weird sometimes.
Right,
you know what I mean? But it's still a classic episode. But Ed, you got more? That was it for you.
That was it for me.
That's it for you. Oh boy, because there ain't much here in the mailbox besides that, except one email. Who could it be?
I got one guess.
All right, I'll let you.
Actually, I got two, but I probably only need one.
You fair enough.
I'm gonna let Bob say it for me.
That theme.
I like where your head's at, Bob.
Bob is spot on. Spot on. That is the theme for our regular emailer, Agent Palmer. Is he an agent? Is he a Palmer? He's neither, but he plays one on the internet. Let's see what he's got. All right, so. This week, let's see here. First, let me congratulate you guys on Lightning Round.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was a game we played last week that Ed brought in. It appears to be a great bit in the arsenal of your podcast. I look forward to hearing more of it. Maybe there'll be listener questions coming. Listener questions.
Ooh, listener questions for the lightning round.
For the lightning round, we told people that they could send them in. I did say send in 20, which I think might be a hard demand on people if they're writing them themselves. So if people only send in a list of 10.
10.
10 is the per person, but we'll throw it at person.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Palmer.
I think any amount of questions that someone can come up with would be fine.
Right. I think the thing is that to give one person 10 and another person 10. So if you send them in like 5 or 10s, if you can only come up with 5, that's fine.
Come up with 2. We don't care.
Well, I do, because I don't want to compile 25 emails.
Oh, okay.
So send in 10, because that's the bit. You know what I mean? But they don't have to be crazy questions. If you've heard the bit, it's like ridiculous. So these are easy questions. What's better, mayo or jelly? And you say Sasquatch. It's about getting laughs. So anyway, Palmer says, hey, next on his little email, the big NASA Marvel crossover news. You guys, have you guys seen the new NASA mission patch that features Rocket Raccoon and Groot?
Ooh.
He's got a picture of it here, but I'll show you guys in a sec. It's fantastic, as the article I read stated that, quote, if there were any doubt in your heart that the people of NASA were a bunch of nerds, here's the evidence that proves otherwise. So now, with all of your combined geekery at the table, are there any other superheroes you'd like to see featured on an official NASA mission patch?
Well, how about Iron Man?
Iron Man's not a bad call. You know what? This made me realize that, I don't know how many fictional characters they've had on their patches.
I don't think many.
I don't think many. Yeah. I think the most they've ever done is some Star Trek related stuff because of the Enterprise.
Right.
Yeah.
And the obviously, space exploration.
They might have done some Star Wars.
I was gonna say some space-based heroes like Green Lantern or Nova.
Right. Well, that's what I was kind of getting into. I was thinking
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, like who else could because
Marvel's Captain Marvel.
Because Groot and Raccoon came in pretty hard and pretty fast. I feel like Flash Gordon.
That became such a beloved movie. I think that's why it got on. Sure. Because those are characters a little more obscure otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now they're like you said, they're beloved characters because the movie was so well received.
It's like the two of them together are like almost like a couple.
Yeah.
You hate to see them apart. They got to go together.
Yeah. Definitely.
And they love the hell out of each other. They just want a minute.
Right.
So, Palmer's next question here, and I'm doing some weird shit on this app where I can't really get the whole thing. Anyway, says, Bill, when will your pizza... Wait, okay, I'm skipping ahead. He's got a pizzeria question for me. Well, that's it for this week. As I'm sure most of you covered, you guys have covered the big news thus far from San Diego, which is true. I can barely speak, but that's true too. So he says, P.S. Bill, when will your pizzeria be delivering further than 1 block radius? Because I'm kind of hungry. I mean, last week it sounded like Ed was offering his services as a delivery boy, and that would extend the delivery range, wouldn't it? And it would, Palmer, but without giving away your location to the audience, you're not on this island that we call home. Nope. You're not even in the state that we call home. So basically, I could...
It's Domino's for you.
Yeah, we haven't franchised out yet. But we will. I mean, it's in the plans.
But Domino's is now doing $8 pies every day of the week if you walk in. So.
But as a friend, I would say, Palmer, that's exactly it. I would say, as a friend, Palmer, you should actually refuse to eat pizza until we get a franchise in your area as a show of solidarity. So he's got another PS, officially known as a PPS.
Actually, before you start on that, I just got to say that I don't think he eats anything but pizza.
Peanut butter jelly.
On pizza?
Well,
maybe.
Give it time. He'll probably try that too. Yeah. So he wants to know what is the shelf life of an inside joke? Obviously referring to the pizza bit. I mean, how long can this maintain its humor? Not long.
Just long enough for me to say pizza, butter, and jelly.
Not long. If people want to know more about the pizza joke, listen to last week's episode. And in that episode, I'm talking about where it started, which is on a whole other podcast.
I've already forgotten about it.
What? What?
It's glad to see that most of us have moved on, except for Palmer.
Well,
Just kidding,
I told
Palmer.
him, actually, I was talking to him the other week. I was like, don't hit us with San Diego stuff too much because we're going to be covering it in the news. And rather than us repeat it, But we do want to thank him anyway for sending in the email.
Yeah. Thanks.
And
Absolutely.
And people at home, you can send emails too. You can send them to podcast@wickedtheory.com. You can send them your general information type stuff. You could send us questions for Ask Mumm-Ra. Because we might have him back. So people, what you should do is in the subject line of your email, put in Ask Mumm-Ra or Dear Mumm-Ra, whatever you prefer. I don't think he's too picky about the bit. No, actually, no, he probably should be because he's now actually syndicated on Third Earth.
Yeah.
And is an actual, so it's Ask Mumm-Ra.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Ask Mumm-Ra. Send those in. People can also send in questions, like we said before, for the lightning round.
For the lightning rounds.
They can send in questions for Bob about proper guitar maintenance. And no, I'm only kidding. Dom about
working out.
Anything life,
just
car parts.
Just anything.
No,
please no auto part stuff at this table at this show. I will refuse to hear it.
I just picked up a strut there. Item number 127-15B.
What was wrong with it? Did we give you the wrong one? Did we
no,
mix
it's
up
fine. I just wanted to say that. That's all.
Oh, okay, good. Because that sounded exactly like a phone call. We picked up a 72 123, and it doesn't fit. We're going to send it back to you. It's defect. I'm like, all right. Well, I don't know why you're sending it back to me. Just send it back to the main warehouse. Life, work has finally invaded the show. That means it's time. It means it's fucking over.
Mm-hmm. It's over.
It's over, Johnny. It's over, Johnny. You bastard.
Bye.
No, people. Where can we're gonna sign off and do it official, okay?
All right. You guys
like
can find
mature
me.
adults, we're gonna try and do this.
You can find me, Dom.
Yeah, where at?
On Twitter.
Twitter?
At Dom_Tory.
Nice. TORRE?
Yes, sir.
I don't want them to forget that extra R, buddy.
Thank you.
Ed, what about you? Are you on the Twitters as well?
Yes, I am. You can find me at Edward O'Hare TBD.
TBD, what does that mean?
It's a nickname.
To
be determined.
Okay, very good.
To be disturbed.
I want something been disturbed. That it's not gonna work. Anyway, Bob, how about you?
Oh, I thought you forgot my name for a second.
I did. I didn't know which way I was gonna.
That's because I was born first, right?
Yeah. You remember me because I came after you, so it's like for your whole life.
You totally disrupted my life.
Exactly.
What would you have done if he'd said Dave?
I wouldn't have answered.
That would probably be like one of the first times, like our parents did that to us, but we never really did too much to each other.
Mom did it to us. Dad was usually working.
Right. Yeah.
More so with me. He was basically retired by the time you were growing up.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true.
I guess you're trying to ask me where I can be reached at.
Yeah. If people want to like.
Well, I'm on the Twitterverse, Bill.
Oh boy, tell me all about it.
Yeah, I'm at Bob WTPC.
I love it. All right, and folks, we'll be back next week. If you want to check us out, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and all those kinds of good, fun, goofy places. You can listen to episodes at wickedtheory.com. If you want to know more about that Preacher contest we were talking about, you can listen to Preacher vs. Preacher online. You can find an article about the giveaway called the Absolute Preacher Giveaway, because that's what we're actually giving out. And you can find out more information there and what to actually do with that number that I gave out earlier. Like, what are people doing with that? It's weird.
Where?
Where to go?
Where can they find it?
Where can they find it? They can find it at wickedtheory.com. Hey, Bob.
Good.
You can take us out of here, buddy. Cha-cha-cha.
Yeah.
Yes.